Skinwalker Ranch, Blind Frog Ranch, and the Uinta Basin have piqued the interest of many for the past 30 years, beginning around 1995. Before this, it seems like only one local person was truly interested in recording data on phenomena taking place in northeastern Utah. Most of that high strangeness included UFOs and cattle mutilation. The public and audience are not quite sure of what phenomena is around the area, when it began, and basically what's correct and not correct, meaning wrong. So let's discuss these concerns. I also want to quickly let the public know that there's three things that I'm investigating and researching that are the major reasons for my travel around the world, especially to the Uinta Basin. One are the giants and how they play into the distant lost history of man, quite possibly being the ancient gods that were worshipped and created our past and current religions. Second are the ancient sites that have yet to be discovered and may very well contain lost historical data, especially one known as Tamwan Chan, or as I say it, Tamwan Khan, which is origin for many of the indigenous peoples of the America, and which I believe is somewhere in the Uinta Mountains. And third is the phenomena that creates or attracts this high strangeness, especially what we're seeing at Skinwalker Ranch. This partly appears magnetic, starts below in void systems, is potentially powered by running water, transmits above ground, and transfers energy, mostly via RF radiation out into space. The mesa and parts of the ranch operate as a battery. In turn, it creates possibly spatial and temporal anomalies. Is it natural or fabricated by intelligent beings? I don't know. First, let's take a drive out to Skinwalker Ranch. Some of you know, others don't, that this was an ordinary unknown piece of property up until approximately 1994. A rancher purchases the property, states he had all kinds of strange phenomena occur to he and his family, and the rest becomes history. It soon after is purchased by Robert Bigelow and becomes ground zero for a $22 million government research project into high strangeness, the unknown and unidentified aerial phenomena. It soon becomes known as the UFO Ranch, and soon after that, Skinwalker Ranch. Up until this time, Skinwalker was not a term associated to this ranch or the Ute reservation around it. And why is that, you ask? Because the Ute were not in this part of Utah until they were moved there by the federal government in the 1860s. Without the Ute, there were no Navajo to fight and kick off the land. This took place elsewhere, say in the Colorado Territory, where both tribes did exist. It was away from this part of Utah that a very few bad medicine men and women practiced dark arts and sympathetic magic known as Adish Gash, creating shapeshifters known as the Yi Nalushi, or Skinwalker as we know them. This paranormal activity did not take root into the local Ute culture until the ranch became known for its paranormal activity around 2001. Origins for shapeshifters were most likely the Nawal, originally half man, half beast. And that's not to say that many other Native American cultures have something similar to a skinwalker, and that the Ute knew something else was wrong or happening with the land that now is occupied by Skinwalker Ranch. So what needs major correcting? The Utah Territory Indians were not the Ute. They were related, also of Uto-Aztecan descent. Those that we should be looking into are the Shoshone, specifically Snake Band, the Timpanogos, who were sadly thrown into the Ute Reservation and have been forgotten about. It was their ancestor, the great territorial leader that was Chief Wakara. It was this group, along with some Paiute, that were savagely wiped out by the Mormons and their leaders. Unfortunately, we know that the victors in war write the history, and the Mormons made it seem like Wakara was a friend to them and even baptized Mormon. None of this was true. Because of the fraudulent history, a lot of what we research about on the Uinta Basin, its ancient history, high strangeness, and yes, even treasure, have become convoluted and off track. Because of this fraudulent history, a lot of what we research about the Uinta Basin, its ancient history, high strangeness, and yes, treasure, have become convoluted and off track. We need to pursue the Aztec having returned to their origin site, having brought back and hidden vast amounts of treasure, and knowing their local Uto-Aztecan cousins would guard it, along with precious artifacts from ancient times and the buried site of past leaders, territorial chiefs, and even their gods, those being of great stature. We need to realize that the area was sacred, remains sacred for a reason, and this is heavily tied to all the misunderstood energy in the area, the strange phenomena that abounds, and yes, the ancient giants that lay hidden, buried deep underground. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. Thank you.